Yeah, it is Transformation Tuesday. It's going up on a Tuesday. Yes, indeed. I am Public Information Director here at the Northeast Delta Human Services Authority, Duran Talley. I'm super excited because September, there's a lot of great things going on in the community and across the region as well. September is Recovery Month. Some also know September to be Suicide Prevention Awareness Month as well. And so we have a lot of different activities going on, whether we're dealing with opioid reduction and mitigation, or whether we're dealing with the celebration of recovery itself. We have a ton of opportunities for you and the community to get involved with the HSA, not only to just hear about or see about what we're doing on our social media, but this is our personal invitation to you as well. Super excited about today because we have two of our dynamic team members here at the Human Services Authority that are going to share a lot of good information about what we have going on. We've already started some things this month, celebrating recovery, just doing goodwill out in the region. But we got even more in store for you. And without further ado, this brings me over to introduce our prevention and wellness team with our director of prevention and wellness, Dr. Avius Carroll.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Carroll, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Mr. Talley?
Doing absolutely phenomenal on this Tuesday. You know it goes up on Tuesday.
Goes up. Goes up on it Tuesday. We'll treat ourselves this Tuesday as
Hey,
well.
treat yourself. You already know. You already know. Yes, indeed. Listen, celebrating recovery is so important. It's so significant. And what you all have been doing for years, and this year feels like we're just taking it to another level. I mean,
hmm
almost for sure every weekend, feel like at least 2, 3 times a week, we have
hmm
something for the community to get engaged with. Why is the celebration of recovery so important, Dr. Carroll?
Well, celebrating recovery is important, not just for the individuals who are in recovery, who work very hard every day to have maintenance of their recovery and work really hard to integrate back into the community, but also the staff and the providers that work really hard to support them. It's
Mm,
really hard work on both ends, and not just staff too, the family, the community. It
yeah.
does take a village to support recovery. And so bringing notification knowledge, awareness to that is important for our agency as providers of behavioral health services.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to show the HSA's intentionality to be a catalyst where individuals with mental health, addiction disorder, or developmental disabilities can thrive and be the best version of themselves, the agency has already been doing things this month that the title or the theme may not say recovery, but as we continue to work and help move the region to a healthier population, we've already done some things such as the prostate 5K glow run, as well
Yes.
as the full and clean event this past Saturday. Talk about the significance of those two events and why was it important for the HSA to be involved?
So with the full and clean, that was specific to an area that we've been wanting to work with the Balkanville community. And, individuals are doing really great work there. We want to be there to support and provide our outreach, our mitigation services as well to show the community that we care, that we're here, because visibility means everything. If individuals don't know that your agency exists, how are they able to receive the help that you have? And
Yeah,
so being able to coordinate and collaborate with these types of organizations that are doing wonderful work is important to us. With the prostate cancer run, prevention is key. And
mm,
so also lack of prevention, lack of wellness can also lead to other behavioral health diagnoses, can lead to depression, can lead to anxiety. And so having those intervention type activities happen, bringing our resources to the table, teaching individuals about why this is important can also curtail some of those effects in individuals' lives and their families.
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And so in Recovery Month, yes, we talk about those individuals that have overcome whatever that challenge was, that addiction was, that pain point was, that traumatic experience, even whatever that thing was. But we've done some other things as well, just to be intentional about our efforts in the community to help move population health. This Friday, we have an event We have a special event. This will be the second year we're doing it. In your team, under the Prevention and Wellness Department, you have a phenomenal young lady in your team, Miss Kara Etienne, who's our opioid use disorder program director. This is the
Yes.
second year she's done this. She does a phenomenal job, and believe it or not, she's going to join the show with us as well. Let's go ahead and bring Kara in the show to talk about Friday's Recovery Day celebration. Hey, Kara, how you doing?
I am doing, let's say that.
You can treat yourself today as well, huh?
Yes, as soon as we get off, I've got to find something to treat myself with. I deserve it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kara, you in the opioid use disorder program and the work that you do, especially here even more recently around fentanyl, and all of the hats that you have to wear. One of the well, you may not know it, you may not recognize it, but to me, one of the best hats you wear at this agency is your ability to event plan. We see you do a very good job with your opioid summits. This is the second year now for this Recovery Day celebration. Talk about, Kara, uh, why is it so important for you to not only in the one-to-one sessions or in the relationship building sessions of all the things that you do as you educate around fentanyl and opioid use, but why is it important or so significant for you to be able to bring the community and the region together to one place, whether it's opioid summit or this Recovery Day celebration? Why is that event planning so important and essential for your department?
One of the things I think is that a lot of times, especially when you think about recovery, whether it's recovery from a substance abuse or from mental illness, um, bringing community together in those instances are important because a lot of times most people feel like they're alone. A lot of times when we're going through things, you feel like you're the only one in the world at that moment that's going through what it is that you're going through and what you're experiencing. So coming together shows you, number one, most importantly, that you're not alone. Number two, it allows you to see those entities that are there to be able to provide help and support. And number three, it helps to reduce the stigma and normalize things to a certain extent. That and when I say normalize, not meaning normalizing that people have problems, but normalizing that people, although problems do come, that you're able to overcome them and get to a positive, healthy, happy place to where you can celebrate recovery. So that's the biggest part. To me, those three things kind of feed me when I do work on events and thinking about events and community planning and why it's important to bring the community together. Because so many times, like at the end of the event, when it's all said and done, most people are going home, alone. However, they're able to make those connections and continue to build upon them to where they know who they can reach out to in moments when there's need.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said. Well said. So this Friday at 10 a.m. at the Monroe Zoo Pavilion, this is the second annual Recovery Day. You have a theme this year, the art of recovery. Dr. Carroll, let's talk about the art of recovery. What does that look like? Because the agency for the last several years, we've really become more intentional and strategic in looking at artist therapy, art as medicine. We've done initiatives throughout the region with artists, local artists. You have championed and coined the Artist Therapy Festival here in the region in the springtime, but now we're looking at art of recovery. What does that mean, Dr. Carroll?
Well, I am so happy to see art being showcased much more as a methodology for recovery. Art is an expressive form of communication. It allows you to express yourselves in ways that you don't have to verbally communicate. You can use poetry to write, dance, singing, visual art. And we have found a way to explore all these different concepts of art and bring that into how we provide services, how we showcase wellness, and how we, I guess, connect to the community really, because
Yeah,
bringing those different art forms to the agency and to the community has allowed us to be visible in more people's, in their communities and in their atmospheres of dwelling. And
mhm.
so just bringing that artistic way of expressing yourself to me, um, It's critically important because it allows individuals to say, hey, this is how I'm coping with said things. This is how I'm dealing with recovery. This is how I'm functioning with maintenance. And I hear it all the time when we're in the community. People talk about, well, the 5Ks are a way for me to, to showcase wellness or to bring wellness into my life and things of that nature. So having art as recovery, I mean, it's important. It really is.
And it's another treatment modality. A lot of times people think that treatment only takes place sitting across the desk. And don't get me wrong, that's important. But it's another way, another part of the treatment planning process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Carol, Friday at 10 a.m., I pull up to the Monroe Zoo Pavilion. What can I expect to happen? What's going down?
Oh, so much, so much. We have live performance by the one and only Snaz Band. When Snaz Band takes a break, we have a DJ that will be playing music for us to still keep everything lively and going on. We have vendors that are going to be out sharing their information, their resources on what it is that they provide to the community, how they can help. We have games, we have crafts, we have door prizes that you'll be able to win. We will also have food trucks. And this year, our food trucks were sponsored.
Nice.
So our wonderful sponsors this year are Living Water Ministries, which is owned by Representative Adrian Fisher. And then we also have sponsorship from Marcus Bosley, who owns True Relief, Bosley Clinic, and Absolute Care, as well as Second Chances Recovery. So we're really excited about partnering with them. So any food truck that you go to that has been sponsored by those three groups and entities to be able to allow for a holistic, fun-filled day. We also have admission to the zoo where we'll be able to provide 100 people free admission to the zoo in between that time block as well. Yes.
I love it. Love it.
Yes, we have Kona Ice that will be out there. We're also going to have popcorn, just anything that you can imagine. We will be out there celebrating the day and celebrating recovery. We also will have Narcan on site, so we will be able to provide Narcan training and distribution as well. So that's something that we are excited about and always working to provide to the community as well. We want to have fun, but we also want to educate and provide a safe place for people to access the resources that they need. We will also have fentanyl test strips also. They will be able to obtain those confidentially. No one will have to know what it is that they are getting. Our nurse will be on site. Our peer will be on site to be able to talk with and help with anyone that is in need on that day. But the biggest and the most important part is coming together to celebrate the art of recovery.
Yes. Listen, you all do not want to miss it. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Snaz Band, they get down. They can cover anything.
Oh, yeah.
Cover it like Deion Sanders playing cornerback. So
Yes.
Friday, it is going down Friday at 10 a.m. at the Monroe Zoo. Good question, Catherine. From 10 a.m. until about 2 o'clock. Come on out throughout that time. If you have to swing through on your lunch break, we'll still be there. Stay with us and through the afternoon, midway through the afternoon, we'll be breaking it down. But come on out, have a good time. It doesn't cost you anything. It sounds like we got some good sponsors, some good partners, some good relationships. Come get connected with your community and come celebrate recovery. Now, guess what? That's just Friday.
That's just Friday.
We still got other stuff throughout the rest of
Yes.
September that we got to talk about. So Friday at the Monroe Zoo, the Art of Recovery, Recovery Day celebration from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. But if you missed that, if you're not able to sneak away from your job or put some time in, listen, Saturday morning, we kicking it back off. We will be in West Monroe Saturday morning, right? Back in West Monroe. We did West Monroe this past weekend was full and clean. We're back this Saturday as well. Notice what we're trying to do. We're trying to cover both sides of the river, spread throughout the region. Tell us about Saturday's recovery walk.
It is Saturday at the Cheney Park Lake area. It is being sponsored. We're working with Freedom Fitness Ministry, who is organizing and putting it together for us. We are the sponsor for that. We are going to be out. It's called a fun run because we wanted to take the pressure out. We wanted to invite and open it up to anyone. So whether you are a true and true athlete that can win a 1K or a 5K, or if you are a beginner like me that probably just can only walk it, it's open to everyone. It's going to be fun. We're also going to have resources and available set up there as well, to where you will be able to again access any information that's needed, whether it's our Narcan, the fentanyl test strips, and things like that.
Awesome.
Registration begins at 7:30. The run will begin at 8. And did we say fun run? But if you can't run it, you are more than welcome to come and walk it with us. It's open for all ages. Anyone is welcome to attend. And so that's where we will be on Saturday.
Absolutely.
I think we'll have some free shirts out there as well.
Yes, we'll have some shirts out there as well for those who participate.
Yeah.
Nice. And Dr. Carroll has already stressed towards the significance, the importance of that prevention, of that wellness, of that physical activity, because it can prevent us from having other behavioral health challenges down the road. And so, again, we're still celebrating recovery. We have a variety of activities to meet you where you are. For some, Friday, you may have to work. You may not be able to get there. Saturday, you may be able to get out there. You may be able to do a run, or you can slow roll it if you want to and just have a nice little Saturday morning walk. Just come on out and be amongst the positivity that's going on throughout our region and throughout this entire month. That's just Saturday, though, folks, because Kara and Dr. Carroll and many others from our agency have partnered with the Louisiana Association of Mental Health. And we have an event on Tuesday at the Washita Parish Library, the main branch location. And we're going to be diving into opioid mitigation and harm reduction strategies. And so that's a lot, right? And so Dr. Carroll introduced that concept to us, and then Kara will bring to you to talk about some of the examples of what our agency has been doing already to introduce harm reduction as a methodology.
Okay.
So harm reduction and mitigation is critically important, and we see the rise in opioid use. And one of the things that we're concerned about is the different forms that opioid use is taking place. And especially with our youth, with our college students, it's something that we have to get a handle on very quickly and also keep the community involved. And so when we talk about harm reduction and mitigation, it's providing those educational opportunities, those outreach opportunities, those intervention strategies to reduce the use of opioid use amongst our population. Mm-hmm. And making sure that we have as many people at the table as possible to learn about what those efforts are, learn what their efforts are, and how we can come together and leverage the work that each of us is doing, leverage that knowledge that each of us have to have a better outcome and to reduce those numbers in our communities.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at when we talk about harm reduction. And so, Kara, let's give some specific example of things this agency have been doing here recently in the last year or so to educate and empower even our vulnerable populations with harm reduction tools.
Okay. So one of the things I want to say before I start that is also harm reduction shows, it's proven that it is a success in connecting people to treatment. Whereas meeting people where they are, providing them with what they need in that time opens the door for a therapeutic relationship to start, to where then once you have established a rapport with them and they feel that they can trust you, they're more often than to be receptive to either seeking you out for treatment or actually taking you up on the offer each time you meet them where they are with providing treatment. So harm reduction has played a very critical role in helping to connect people to treatment. Some of the things that we have done since I've been here in 2019, of course, our Narcan training. That has been something that's been ongoing. I tell a lot of people, a lot of times you will hear me say it's one of the most important things that we do because when administered in time, Narcan can save a life. It can, it does, and it will, and it has. And so we like to make sure that we are getting it out in the community, that we are training people, and that they have it, whether they need it or not. We'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Absolutely.
Every second counts.
Yes.
Here recently, within the past year, we've also started distributing fentanyl test strips. Prior to early 2023, they were illegal to be in possession in the state. They were considered contraband or drug paraphernalia. That's not the case anymore. It is fully legal to be in possession of fentanyl test strips. And the reason for that is because of how they're cutting fentanyl into just about every drug. So not only do we provide the strip, we provide you with the education on how to utilize the strip in order to test that drug to make sure that whether or not fentanyl is in it. We tell people all the time, just because it may tell you fentanyl is in it, it doesn't tell you if it's enough in there to kill you, but you can make an informed decision on whether you're still going to use or not. And if you do, you need to have someone by you, and y'all also need to be in possession of Narcan. Um, we have also placed a harm reduction vending machine at our peer center that is stocked with not only the Narcan and the fentanyl test strips, but wound care kits, hygiene kits, other kits and things that a person who is actively using and or homeless could possibly need at a period of time. Everything that is loaded into the machine is free of cost. You can access it Monday through Friday from 9 to 3 at any time. You have a unique number that is unique to you to use the machine. It is 100% private because they have a screen around it and no one can see what it is that you are bending and taking out of the machine. I can't even tell what you're taking out of the machine because it's not by name, it's simply by a number. Um, and so that's kind of the largest what we're doing. We've got more things coming where we're going to be placing freestanding Narcan boxes throughout every parish in the state. I mean, in our region. Um, that's something that we're really excited about. We have more vending machines that are going to be coming. And of course, we do, like I said, in the Narcan training, we will train anyone, anytime, any place. It doesn't matter whether you yourself use, you can know someone that use, or you can be working in a population where you come in contact with a lot of different people at various times of the day and could have something, use it to where you want to have it in the event if something were to happen, if an emergency situation were to occur. And we also just do regular education and drug classes that kind of educate you on medication safety and things to do to remain safe. And we also provide medication disposal pouches to where you can safely deactivate and dispose of medication when you're no longer using it. With fentanyl and it being the game changer and pill presses, they can run pills and fentanyl through those machines and make them look like whatever it is they want to tell you that it looks like. And so it's really important that we destroy and deactivate medication, even now over the counter medication, when we're no longer using it. And we provide medication lock bags for those populations. We know there are populations and people that will be prescribed opioids, whether it's long-standing prescriptions for chronic pain, or even if it's one-time prescriptions for different procedures that take place. We want them to be able to properly store and lock up the medication. So that's something that we provide as well.
Wow. 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 Carol, Dr. Carol, do y'all sleep? Or y'all ever not on the clock? And we're just talking about harm reduction. You guys have an entire department of other things that you do, and we're just talking about harm reduction and opioid mitigation strategies. Guess what? You can learn more. Those who are tuned in with us, thank you for tuning in with us. Great question again, Ms. Catherine. September 24th, that's next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Washita Parish Public Library, harm reduction and opioid mitigation strategies for Louisiana's Delta. That's the Louisiana Mental Health Association, the HSA, and the Louisiana Department of Health. You're going to have Kara Etienne give you even more information around what she just shared in these last 2 or 3 minutes. because she's going to have an entire platform, right? So it's going to be so exciting. But we'll also have Dr. Monteze Sizer, our executive director. He'll share some information. We'll have our director of integrated care, Ms. Janice Rogers, there to share some information. We have Amy Kincannon, RN from ULM, Associate Professor of Nursing. We have from the LDH Office of Behavioral Health, Miss Marissa Beard. And we have Administrator of Rayville Recovery, Ryan Felder. And Ryan is a phenomenal guy. I remember meeting him in the past as well. And so this is September 24th, at the Washita Parish Main Branch Library here in Monroe, Louisiana. 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. Harm reduction, opioid mitigation strategies for Louisiana's Delta. I promise you, we're still not done. That's just next Tuesday. That's just next Tuesday. There's more, because maybe that doesn't work for you. Then so maybe a Saturday slow stroll may not work for you. Maybe Friday at the zoo might not work for you. Maybe you can't catch us next Tuesday, the 24th at 10 at the library. How about Thursday evening? One of these days got to work for you. One of them got to get you. Thursday evening, Thursday, September 26th at 6 p.m. How would you like to come and stretch and vibe with us at the Monroe Civic Center? Yes, stretch and vibe. It's a free community Pilates and wellness event at the Monroe Civic Center, Thursday, September 26th at the Monroe Civic Center. Come stretch and vibe with us. Dr. Carroll, tell us more about our stretch and vibe event on the 26th of September.
All right. Well, as I said earlier, bringing those wellness components in is very important to overall maintenance of disease. And so, what I love about the Pilates is that it also incorporates mindfulness and deep breathing. And so that's just time for each individual to kind of hone in, take some space for themselves, think about things, not think about things, release the day, meditate, pray if they want to, be still if they want to, whatever that is. And also combine with Pilates, which is a slower form of yoga, and just get that deep stretch in, get some sweating in. And it's such a vibe. I've met Miss Shanice. And so she's an awesome individual. She brings all these components of wellness into one space. And she also does a light show at the end of her session.
Wow.
And so I'm just excited for other individuals to experience what she brings to the community as well. And just bringing some type of, I like that it's free. And giving other individuals an opportunity to explore other areas of wellness, giving them the opportunity to see what it is. Do they like it? And then also, and she provides these services on her own at a very decent, reasonable rate as well.
So your first exposure to Pilates doesn't have to cost you. The HSA has covered the tab. Come on out and just stretch and vibe, and maybe find a new hobby, find a new joy, find a new way to treat yourself on Thursday, 26 at 6 p.m. with our stretch and vibe event. And guess what, y'all? We still not done. That's just through the 26th. Recovery month is the entire month of September. In this agency, we are holding you down to the wire, taking you to the end, all the way through the finish line, all the way through the last day of September, Monday, September 30th. There are two mega things happening, mega huge things. We're still talking about the art of recovery. So first we'll talk there, and then we'll wrap it back up and put a big bow on what we just talked about a little bit. We've mentioned some of the opioid and harm reduction piece. But first, Monday, September 30, we have partnered with the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council and Standard Coffee. We will be at Standard Coffee for an open poetry mic night. That's right, spoken word. You will get a chance to celebrate your recovery. You'll get a chance to dig into maybe some of your own trauma that you may have had dealt with and maybe still working your way through this oral methodology of wellness, if we will. Can I say that, Dr. Carroll?
You definitely can. Yeah.
I'm gonna offend, but that spoken word, there's a healing, there's a medicine to that as well. Talk a little bit about our open poetry mic night.
So we're excited. We've worked with the Arts Council before when we did artist therapy last year and this year and last year and bringing different artists to the table. And we do appreciate the footprint they have in Northeast Louisiana. And they're also doing more work with youth in poetry. So when we saw them doing the poetry out loud, we knew that this would be a great group to collaborate with to bring poetry for adults as well. And just working with Abigail and Barry there and getting an idea of what they had in mind, and just understanding that they see the value in poetry as part of that recovery process, as part of behavioral health, as part of addiction, as part of developmental disability, as part of prevention and wellness. And so, just making sure that the people that we work with see the value in how we incorporate their work into ours as well. But with poetry, of course, it's another one of those experiential therapy methodologies. So poetry, wellness, all of these things, just any concept of art, and allowing individuals to share their feelings, express their feelings through in the auditory way. And so we've also decided to work with artists, specifically some artists that are premier around our area, to talk about recovery, to write poems specifically about recovery, but also to invite other artists to the stage to talk about recovery or whatever they want to express, what's important to them, what's on their heart. You don't have to be in recovery to attend. It's just our way of saying these are different ways to showcase recovery, to help with that type of maintenance. But we invite the community as a whole to come out and share, because oftentimes you may not know what you're dealing with until you say it out loud. And so just to bring all that together in one spot, we're so grateful to Standard Coffee for allowing us to host that event in their space, and to close down for us and for the Arts Council to have this important opportunity for our communities.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things, Dr. Carroll, that you made me that you just brought back to my remembrance, I believe you've said it before. I don't know if in this session or in other times we've talked, but we are all in recovery from something. And so we don't take away from this, oh, well, I've never been addicted to alcohol. I've never been addicted to a cigarette. I've never been addicted to a drug. So recovery month, it don't connect with me. No, you're recovering through something. Even if you got in a car wreck, sometimes you have some hesitations and some reservations about getting back out there on the road, and then you overcome that again. That's recovery.
Right, absolutely.
Traumatic experience. Maybe maybe someone broke into your home one time and they didn't take anything, but that idea that someone came into your personal space and now you feel away, and now you've had to overcome that a year later, 2 years later, that is recovery. So we are all in recovery from something. It's not just to that drug addict, that alcohol addict, that cigarette addict, gambling addict. It's not just to that person. It's to any of us who've gone through a hard time or an uncomfortable situation that we've had to learn and grow from.
Absolutely. Any life-changing situation or crisis.
Absolutely.
Life comes at us fast.
Say it again, Kara. Go ahead.
I said life comes at us fast, and a lot of times you don't realize it because you're constantly going through the motion to keep going. So a lot of times, like you said, you may not realize it, but you never know what you may hear someone say. And even if it isn't you, someone that's connected to you, that you can get a word to be able to help them.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Monday at 7 p.m., meet us at Standard Coffee from 7 to 9, open mic night. It's, again, no cost to you. We partner with the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council. Isn't that beautiful? You see a government entity, you see an arts entity, and you see a small business owner, a restaurant, a coffee shop coming together for this important topic of discussion, conversation, and opportunity for hope and healing. That's what's going to happen on Monday night, September 30th at 7 p.m. at Standard Coffee. And finally, on Monday as well, you may have seen some billboards. You may have already seen some TV commercials that have been running as well, because there is going to be what we call a fentanyl special,
Mhm.
a live special on our local Myarkle KTVE 14 Fox 14 affiliate, where they will talk about a series of conversations dealing with fentanyl specifically. Kara, that's in your wheelhouse. That's what you see almost on a day in, day out basis. Why is it important for us to tune in on Monday evening? Before we come to poetry, we need to sit down and watch this special. I believe it's at 6 p.m. Why is that important, Kara?
It's important because a lot of people, surprisingly, aren't aware of the dangers of fentanyl, and how dangerous it is. A lot of people, and I'm not sure that they have seen, but there has been one of the state's taglines for awareness is "One pill can kill," and
Mm,
that's because a lot of people have lost their lives simply from one pill. Their dealer has told them that the pill is, let's say, for example, that they may be telling them that it's a Xanax, when all in actuality, it is a fake pill that has been pressed into the shape of a Xanax pill. And for all intents and purposes, it looks that way. However, it's laced with fentanyl to produce the high that the person is seeking. And too much fentanyl in that one pill can kill. And so it's important to tune in so that you can see what this looks like, how it's affecting it. And it's titled also Saving a Generation. And that's because there are some fentanyl and things that's targeted towards young kids.
Mhm.
I did a Narcan training and I had a picture showing, it's called rainbow fentanyl, and it looks exactly like candy. And one of the questions said that one of the attendees asked was, why would someone, create a drug like this specifically for children?
mm,
And I told them, I said, it makes me think about something that my grandmother would say when she said that, they don't care about you, the person, or the family and who it's connected to. All they care about is the dollar. They're in it for what they're in it for.
Mhm.
And so whoever will buy it, whoever they can sell it to, whoever is using, they will get it to them because they're looking at making money. Um, However messed up that may sound.
Yeah.
So it's important to tune in so that you can be aware. You can say that you understand, you know the risk, you know the dangers that are associated with it, and that you can then take it upon yourself to educate whether you have children, whether they're school age, college age, and other family members, so that everyone is aware of what this crisis looks like, and how it has a widespread just it's everywhere. There's no area that it's not in. I remember sitting in a meeting a couple of years ago with a law enforcement agency, and they made the statement: fentanyl is not in our town. It is not in our parish. And within months, when we had another meeting, they were reporting that they'd had an overdose and it was fentanyl related.
Mhm.
And so, you don't want to say, "I told you so." But it's one of those cases where, because my response was, I can assure you that it is here. You're just probably not aware of it yet. And that if it isn't here yet, because we are very rural, that if it isn't here yet, it's on its way.
Mhm.
And because we're so rural, and because we have a lot of areas that have limited access to emergency rooms, limited access to fast, quick emergency care, we need to be aware of those dangers because a lot of times, like I say, every second counts when it is an overdose. And fentanyl is an opioid. Narcan will work when it comes to fentanyl related overdoses. So watch it so that you can become aware. It may produce more questions, but the good thing about it is if you have them, we're here to help, we're here to answer them.
absolutely. Wow. Wow. Some states, I mean, wow, one pill can kill. Imagine driving down the road and you see that on the billboard. Won't that open your eyes?
Mhm.
Yep.
you know. But wow, we say that, and I laugh, but not laugh like it's funny, but laugh like, this is where we are as a nation, as a people, and this is, like, our kids, our grandkids. We have to do what we need to do to save them. If the message needs to be that loud, then we need to put that on a megaphone. You know, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Dr. Carroll and Carol, we certainly appreciate everything that you do, because guys, what you guys are seeing on this public facing end, that's a lot, right? They still have a lot of things behind the curtain that they have going on as well. So thank you all for your time, giving us this time during your lunch hour, and we hope that those that have tuned in have looked at their calendars, marked some dates, did some save the dates, pencil some dates in, made some commitments even to come participate with us as we celebrate recovery throughout this month of September, and continue to follow the Phoenix. Follow Northeast Delta Human Services Authority on all of our social media platforms. That way, you get the best information in real time as to what's going on, if there is a change to an event, or making sure you have the specifics. But feel free to reach out to us at any time. And as always, if you or someone you know are struggling with mental health or addiction, give us a call 24/7, 365 at 800-256-2522, or you can visit our website, nedeltahsa.org. But the rest of you all, we just want to encourage you to treat yourself. You deserve to be the absolute best version of you, not just today, but every day. Thank you, Dr. Carroll. Thank you,
Thank
Carol,
you.
behind the scenes for everything that you do as well, my brother. Till next time, everyone. See you at the next HSA event.
Bye.
Bye.